What's going on, guys? Cranky Pants here, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to make these resizable windows in Python. You can see that whenever you resize the window, the different buttons will automatically change those sizes according to how you changed the window. So the way that you do this is unbelievably simple. All that you need is to import the Tkinter, which is the library that we're going to use, make a root and create the size of your root, obviously. Make a button or whatever you want. You can use like a canvas, a picture, any type of object that you want, but for this case we're going to use a button. Then all that you need to do is you need to create a root and a row. You can create more than one of these, but for this instance we're just going to use one. Put it in a main loop, and finally put the button inside of a grid. Say what row you want it in, what column you want it in, and the sticky is equal to north, east, south, west. That's very important. And the result of this code will be, if my computer can run it, this is going to be a single button which can be resized according to the window. Very simple, very self-explanatory. Now let's go to something a bit more complex to help you guys understand. So this program has not just one grid, not just one row, and not just one column, but it has two of them. So you will see when this actually runs that the button, since it only spans one single row, it will only go one row when there are now two rows because we made two rows. So what the Python does with this, it sees there's 500 pixels in width, but there's two rows, meaning that it divides 500 divided by 2. So now your button is 250 wide. If we, for instance, like double the size of the window, it's going to be basically doubling the size of the button as well. As you can see now, if this window is 1000 pixels wide, then the button's now 500 because the first row is also now 500. That also changes with the columns. You can also make the buttons, another cool feature about this. You can use this thing called row span, and we can change it to whatever number we want. I'm going to use 2 for this instance. And whatever number you put, now it's going to cover that many rows or columns. So as you can see now, it covers 2 rows. This is the first one, this is the second one. And you see if we resize it, it's the same thing. You can also do the same thing for the columns. I'm going to show you guys this one right now. Don't want to use any any cuts or anything, just to show you guys how easy this is. There are some really cool applications that you can use with this, like making a HUD for a video game or something. And yeah, as you can see, it now covers the first row and the first column, but now the second column and still the first row. You can also change it as well. You can use row span and column span simultaneously, obviously. I'll show you guys that right now, and you'll see. Yeah, now it encompasses the whole thing. So using this, you can do something very cool. Using a for loop and many rows. So what I have this do, it will automatically create buttons for every single row, as you can see over here. So it'll resize it, you can resize it, and this is very useful if you want to like plan something out or something like that. If you want to have like, I don't know, let's say you're making a game or something, you want to have a health down here in the corner, a crafting menu over here, and maybe like a mini map over here or something like that. This is very useful to have. And one last thing that I want to show you guys before I get to a really cool paint app that I made is the sticky thing. The sticky thing is very important. Basically, what north, east, south, west means is that it'll stick. Imagine this is the button. First, it'll stick north, then it'll stick east, then it'll stick south, then it'll stick west, which means that it will expand to as big of an area as it has. To demonstrate this, if we just, for instance, remove the sticky in its entirety, you will notice that the buttons won't actually be resizable that much. They will resize still, like when we get it smaller, but when you make it bigger, it'll just increase the space in between them, which you do not want. If you then, for instance, if you just do north and east, for instance, you will see that the buttons will go to the north and the east. So for instance, this is the boundary of the first row and the first column. So it'll go north and then east. And then if you add something like south, for example, it'll then expand too. It'll try to go to north and south, which it can't do unless if it expands its borders to encompass the whole thing. I'll give it a second because it's not wanting to work. There we go. And now as you can see, it goes both north and both south. And then if you add west, it goes as it was before. So something cool that you can have with this, for instance, what I thought of doing, it's I'm gonna show the code over here. You guys can pause if you wanna. Okay, it's not that, but if you wanna pause to read this, you can. It's pretty cool. I have a couple of variables and stuff. Um, I want to show you guys it. And basically what it does is kind of like a Microsoft Paint type of thing. So all of these icons and stuff, they're all encompassed in the different columns and the different rows. So if you want to change it to orange, you go into the second column of the first row. Yeah, that's how it is. And then you can change the color. These are just like some of the possibilities that you can have. You can have something cool like that. And the reason why we're using this system is because obviously how Microsoft Paint is. You can also resize Microsoft Paint however you want. You want to build it bigger, you can. You want to build it smaller, you can. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys. Like I explained before, this could be very useful if you want to build like a cool application or something. Like let's say you're trying to make a game or something. You want to have health down here, maybe some crafting benches over here. I already explained this stuff. Either way, if you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please drop a like and subscribe. If you guys have any questions about this topic, feel free to ask them in the comments below. I will try my best to answer each and every one of you amazing people. And with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I wish you luck with your programming.